I'm Taylor Shrum, and I'm enrolled in the Principles of Management and Supervision course because I want to excel as a businessman and as a project manager. Come along with me on a journey of self-discovery of my own personal human values. Hi, I'm glad you could join me. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my values and things that are important to me. We're going to be getting a lot of work done in that regard. So, why don't we just start off? The 3 points of value that I really see in myself are patience, flexibility, and of course, an openness to new ideas. I hope you don't mind if I make some coffee while I'm explaining. Flexibility requires an openness to new things and new ideas. For instance, I like cinnamon in my coffee. Just a hint of it reminds me of home. But others may not be as open to new ideas. It's your job as a manager to be able to explain why something may be advantageous to the organization when it may not be very clear to those you're working with. Flexibility is something that is crucial to the work environment because you don't know what you'll have to adapt to. Let's say, for instance, the man upstairs, the executives, they make this decision that you think is completely bonkers. Bonkers! But you know that you're going to have to get the job done anyway. So what do? You adapt. As a team leader, you have to rally the troops, get them back on their feet again. Though they've been taken down by this new order from on high, it's up to you to convince them that not only are they up for the challenge, but they're going to do it right and be the best at it. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about an openness to discipline. You see, there have been people that have lived on this earth much longer than you have, and they have taken time to ask questions about life, and they've come to conclusions. Some of the conclusions you may not agree with. However, an openness to discipline and an openness to those ideas are key if you are to be successful in improving yourself. You know, that reminds me of a time back in 6th grade. Old Coach Thompson was just whipping us into shape, and he really pushed us to the limit. But you know what we learned? Teamwork. And that's what's crucial. We weren't really open to discipline at the time, but after the conditioning and after the harsh criticism from Coach Thompson, what we overcame together would define us in the end. That was a great team. There's Johnny. Boy, he was such a great keeper. He was the best in the whole district. And there's Fernando. You know, he scored 12 points in one game. The other team wasn't that great, though. Oh, and there's Coach Thompson. As old as he was, he had so much wisdom. And the best part was he was able to articulate it to children of our age in a way that we could understand and apply to our own lives. And guess what? That year we won the championship. The takeaway there is openness to discipline that really gets you through in the end. Being dedicated to leadership and honoring those who've been placed in authority. It's a lesson we could all use. Oh, will you look at that? Looks like the coffee's ready. A little lower. Of course you want the coffee right off the bat. But no. You gotta wait for it to cool down. This is where patience comes in. That reminds me of how a team in the workplace functions. It takes time for teams to be able to understand each other, to see the weaknesses and see the strengths. Then they can have each other's backs when going gets tough. Well, I can't take a sip of it quite yet because it's too hot. I'll have to be patient. In the meantime, we can talk about a little thing called consistency. Consistency is important because things are not always going to be popular amongst the team. For example, let's say the place that you work are really difficult to understand policy. As a leader, it's your job to be coherent and consistent. Coherence is important because you need to help your employees understand why that policy is in place and how it helps productivity in the workplace. Secondly, you need to be consistent and enforce the rule every time, no matter who isn't abiding by it. Consistency and coherence will be the keys to success in the workplace. Now that you have the skills you need, let's go back over the values that I've set for myself. Patience, flexibility, And an openness to discipline, I see patience from a time perspective as well as a self-control perspective. Patience is the time it takes to take a step back and acknowledge and respect the forces that are greater than your own that affect your immediate environment. Flexibility. Wow, that's a big one, because you gotta be able to adapt. In the workplace, things are constantly changing, sometimes in an increasing rate. So you've got to be able to garner your team and find helpful solutions that can get you past those obstacles. The last thing is openness to discipline. And of course, openness to new skill sets and new ideas. I appreciate you coming along with me on this journey of self-actualization and an understanding of my own human values. Now, you get out there and do your best. And remember, patience, flexibility, and keeping an open mind.